Hope you're ready for a full day and night of baseball from Baltimore's Camden Yards. The Red Sox play a day-night doubleheader with the Orioles after the Sox rolled to a season-high 19 runs in taking Game 1. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Baltimore. Hope you will settle in with us today. I'm Dave O'Brien. My partner, Steve Lyons. Also, Garen Austin coming away in just a couple of moments. 19 runs, a season high last night for the Red Sox. Looked like everybody hit. Brock Holt confirmed it after the game. This is a really good park to hit in.
Yeah, he said everybody hit. Yes, it is a great park to hit in. What an offensive onslaught they put on last night. And think about this game. They were getting beat 8-3 after the third. But look at all the noise in that box score. Everybody's doing something. All the way down at the bottom, Jackie Bradley Jr. scored 4 runs on top of everything else that he did. But you can go up and down that lineup and find a ton of guys that had really, really good days yesterday.
And J.D. Martinez breaking the 100 RBI mark, now 101, heading into another one today against the Orioles. Good of you to join us for some or all of the day-night doubleheader. David Price is on the mound here this afternoon for the first game, looking to keep his outstanding hot hand rolling. Red Sox in the first of 2 here from Camden Yards. .com. By Dunkin' Donuts, America runs on Dunkin'. Choose Nissan today. Shop ChooseNissan.com. Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. Southwest Airlines, low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. The all-new Subaru Ascent. Love is now bigger than ever this summer. And by Amica Home Life and Auto Insurance that always puts you first. Hot, muggy day, maybe some weather tonight, but right now we're getting set for baseball in Game 1 of the Twin Bill. Down to the field, here's Garen Austin.
Thanks, OB. Game 1 of a doubleheader coming the day after a 4-hour game. Earlier, Alex Cora talked about pitching plans for Game 2.
The plan is for Hector to start Game 2, but if we need him in case of an emergency, we'll use him in Game 1, and then probably William will start the second. So that's what we had right now.
And this is all dependent on weather. This is Baltimore, so of course, heavy storms are expected in the area later this afternoon. OB?
Well, thanks for the good news. I appreciate that, Garen. Yeah, unfortunately, that is the case. And we'll see if we can dodge those. Red Sox taking on the Orioles here in the first game. And here's the Red Sox lineup brought to you by Toyota's website for deals, buyatoyota.com. Mookie Betts is going to lead things off. In right field, hitting .352, tops in the big leagues. Andrew Benintendi at left, Mitch Moreland at first. JD Martinez, 35 homers, 101 runs batted in. If the season ended right now, that's a heck of a season. Xander Bogaerts at short, Brock Holt at second, coming off a big night. Nunez at third, Sandy Leon doing the catching. Jackie Bradley's in center field. Against the right-hander, Jimmy Yacobonis, no wins, no losses, a high ERA of 7.15. Not really a big-time prospect, but they have brought him up to pitch Game 1.
Now let's check in on the Orioles defense today, see how they line up in the infield. Nunez at third, Beckham at short, Villar at second base, and Chris Davis at first. In the outfield, Mancini, Mullins, Jones all the way around. And Wynn's doing the catching now for Yacobonis.
Here are your umps, brought to you by Toyota's website for deals, buyatoyota.com. Trip Gibson behind the plate. Fletcher, Johnson, Hudson around the bases. And a right-hander, Yacobonis, 6'3", 205, ready for the first one to Mookie Betts. Ball one, and we're underway. The Orioles are not going to win the American League East. They were officially eliminated last night.
It's a hot news flash right there.
But there's history behind that. In the division era, that's the fastest anyone has been eliminated. The 2-0 knocked foul by Mookie. Benintendi on deck.
It's the part of history you don't really want to be a part of, right?
They're 46.5 games behind the Red Sox with 46 left. The most games a team has had remaining in a season upon elimination during the divisional era. Time frame spanning 50 seasons. And a 1-2 miss up top.
Yacobonis has been a reliever most of his career. Started to give him a chance to spot start. His last start was July 9th against the Yankees. Sinker slider guy, really just a two-pitch pitcher.
2-2. Fly ball right field. Adam Jones, who's now a corner outfielder, gets under that to make the play. With the young star Mullins, emerging star certainly, in center field. We're available. This telecast can be heard in Spanish by selecting the SAP button on your TV remote. SAP presented by Toyota. Visit compra2toyota.com to see Toyota deals not seen on TV. One gone for Benintendi, who hit a 3-run home run last night off a left-handed pitcher.
It was a blast too, wasn't it? Pretty swing he has. Goodness.
Moreland on deck. So the Red Sox beating the Orioles in 11 of 13 meetings. Boston recovering from an 8-3 deficit last night to roll to a 19-12 win, season high in runs. That was also a franchise record for Red Sox runs at Camden Yards. Nine-game hitting streak for Benintendi. Yacobonis with a 1-1. Back to his home run swing last night.
And that was such a pretty swing, too. Little slider there that kind of hung out over the middle of the plate. Look at how quick, excellent balance he has. Such an easy swing.
Cranks that one toward left center field. Mancini moving over though, and he's there to pick it. 2 down. Yacobonis has been with the Orioles for a few brief stints this season. They've been attempting to turn the relief pitcher into a starter at AAA Norfolk. This is his 3rd start of the year for Baltimore, but again, not considered a top prospect. Moreland at .265 with 14 home runs. Midge doubled, drove in a run last night. Bases empty and 2 gone. And a fly ball not hit deep into left. Mancini with time to get there and put it away. And the Red Sox are 3 up, 3 down here in the 1st inning of Game 1. Nothing as we go to the bottom half of the 1st inning. Time of the Orioles lineup brought to you by your local Nissan dealer. Jonathan Villar leading off at second base. For Baltimore, Tim Beckham at short, Adam Jones in right. Trumbo the DH, Mancini in left. Chris Davis will play first and bat 6th. Renato Nunez at 3rd. Cedric Mullins, very impressive major league debut last night. He's in center, and Wins does the catching. As David Price takes to the mound, a Red Sox starter presented by New England Audi dealers. 11-6, ERA just under 4. He's pitched well in his last 4 starts. And typically very well. He dominates Baltimore. 13-5 lifetime with a .277 ERA. VR swinging a pretty good bat. A lot of Orioles actually are, and they pounded out a lot of hits last night. 12 runs. Trumbo's very hot at this point. Mullins gave him a great lift last night, but the Red Sox scored 19 times and just crushed their pitching staff.
You know, if someone asks you about an Oriole game and you say, yeah, the Orioles had 17 hits and scored 10 runs last night. The second question is never, did you win? Because that was a game they should have won. Think about it.
2-2 and a fly to dead away center field, but Jackie Bradley backing up into the sun has room to make the play on the warning track.
All right, let's check out the Red Sox defense now, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Nunez at third, looking good over there. Bogarts at short. Brock Holton second base again today. Mitch Moreland at first base. In the outfield, it's typical. You know these guys, you love them. It's Benintendi in left, Jackie Bradley Jr. in center. Mookie Betts, the Gold Glove winner, in right. Sandy Leon doing the catching today, and David Price on the mound.
Red Sox 13-2 in his last 15 starts.
I was just going to say that, you know, today wins don't mean that much for a pitcher, but they certainly do for the team.
Beckham pops that one up. Moreland all day to get under for the second out. 2 up and 2 down. A key matchup presented by Sullivan Tire and Complete Auto Service. We're always here to get you there. We talked about David's last 3, a 1.33 ERA. And staying away from ball 4, very tough to hit, a 2.13 average. And that includes a really strong effort against the Yankees. Well, these two go back a long way. Adam Jones to dig in. He's been up 69 times against Price in his career. Price has done very well against him. He's held Jones to a 217 batting average. And longtime adversaries. Bases empty, 2 down. And a strike.
I think the key today will be how well does Price work the outer half of the plate to right-handers.
A good changeup. He dotted the corner there to get ahead. 1 and 2. Trumbo on deck. Adam Jones now the right fielder. After so many years patrolling center field here at Camden Yards, here's the 1-2.
That's what he wants to be able to do right there all day long. Just throw that cutter off the plate. Have it just kind of slide back and nip the corner. If he establishes himself right there, he's going to start getting those calls. And that's a good miss.
Working with Sandy Leon here today, the 2-2. And he put him away. A swing and a miss, 92 miles an hour. Nice start for Price. 1-2-3 they go. Scoreless after one, top of the second. JD Martinez will lead it off at 332, 35 homers. And last night passing the 100 RBI mark to 101. Last Red Sox hitter to get 100 RBI this quickly was Big Papi in 06. He's also the first man in the majors to do it this year.
It's going to shatter his personal career best for RBIs, which is 104, which he set last season after hitting 29 homers in the second half for the Arizona Diamondbacks.
May very well have that by the end of this series. Yacobonis with a 1-1 into the shift and gets it over there in plenty of time for the out. Martinez retired. Time now for the Geico Red Sox moment, honoring the 13 championship season in game number 118. Sox would lose to Kansas City 9-6. Eric Hosmer sparking the Royals for 3 hits and 2 RBI. We're talking about JD Martinez now. Before the game, Alex Cora was, and he was saying this is Manny Ramirez in his prime. That's what we're watching. And I thought of some other guys, Miguel Cabrera in his prime, Albert Pujols at the top of his game. That's what we're seeing right now with JD Martinez.
Frank Thomas, add him to the list. I mean, you're right. I mean, you're seeing the most complete hitter in the game today. Hits for average, hits for power,
and hits in the clutch. Little fly ball toward the alley, dropping. That's going to fall in, and a base hit for Xander Bogaerts. The other thing that Cora was talking about today is he sensed, given the quality of at bats lately for Xander Bogaerts, he's about to take off like a freight train.
Well, he could, and that's the kind of at bat that keeps you going too. A little bit of a jam shot, but you get the base hit anyway. So when you add base hits to at bats where you didn't feel was your best at bat, and then you come up your next time and you absolutely smoke one, you're starting to get a lot of hits. Pile those things up.
Brock Holt coming off his best night of 2018, hitting .262. His second home run came last night. Season highs with 3 runs, 3 hits, 3 RBI. Also walked twice.
Brock does what he says he's going to do. We were walking in. I was talking to him about it. I said, get 3 hits. He said, okay. Short, compact swing. Every once in a while, he jumps the yard on you. Just quick and hard right there. Got that ball lifted up into the air and out of this ballpark and then bounced onto Utah Street. That doesn't count.
And JD Martinez was waiting for the ritual, which usually comes when Martinez hits a home run. Brock said, I knew he would be there because I'm there for him all the time.
Yeah, Brock usually is the guy that has to go over and give the hug. And then this time it was JD that had to come over and give the hug. Jumping up and down, spinning around, laughing.
Bogaerts on, 1 down. And a swing and a miss, down to go strike 3. A little late on that one. So 2 gone.
The 2018 Boston Bruins Fan Fest is back, and it's coming to all the New England states from August 17th through the 26th. Bring the family to get exclusive merchandise at the 47 retail truck and mingle with current Bruin players and staff, as well as NESN personalities at each location. To learn more, visit bostonbruins.com/fanfesttour.
Eduardo Nunez climbing in at .264. Runner at first base, 2 away. We're scoreless in the second inning.
Yacobonis holding his own here so far, almost 2 innings into this game.
His last start came on July 9th against the Yankees. He was only on the hill for 5 innings. Gave up 3 runs, no decision. They lost that game 10-2. They have given the Yankees fits, though.
They really have. They played them tough.
6-6 against New York.
Thank you.
Lunging pop up. Out goes Villar, coming on Jones, and Jones will grab that. No runs, 1 hit, 1 man left. Sox. Digital Federal Credit Union. What can DCU save you? Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. And by LL Bean. If it's outside, we're all in. Be an outsider. Warm one at the ballpark here at Camden Yards. Here's the old warehouse. Serves as the offices for the Orioles as well. David Price got him 1-2-3 in the first inning. He'll get Trumbo, Mancini, Davis. All home run threats, and Trumbo got one last night. He's really cooking too, a 12-game hitting streak. But has not enjoyed his time against Mr. Price. 9 for 40, 225. Got him to pop that one up on a lunging swing. Rockhold would like to take it. One away.
Tomorrow on Nesson Clubhouse, join us as we celebrate our 100th episode. How about that? We'll reveal our favorite skills, science, and smiles from the show. Catch it all on Nesson Clubhouse tomorrow morning at 11:30 on Nesson, presented by Delta Dental of Massachusetts. 100 episodes. You can go into syndication after that, can't you?
Big check for you. You and your shaving cream bit.
Yeah.
Very popular, wildly popular with the kids. When you slam the shaving cream into the glove and it goes all over the poor kid.
You got to wipe it off. And he put some more on me too, so it was all fun and games.
Mancini with a late swing and a miss. 230 with 16 home runs. Yankees are also playing today. They're playing Texas. And if the Rangers beat up on them last night, so that coupled with the Red Sox win means the Red Sox are again 9 games in front. The largest lead here in the last couple of weeks. Well, the second largest lead, Red Sox had a 9.5 game lead. They have not held a lead of 10 games since 07. And 2-2 up the middle, of base hit.
You don't really expect that to happen in the East, though, do you? Anybody jumping out to a 10-game lead? Hard to do. A lot of competitive teams.
Nobody bet on that. Nobody guessed that at the beginning of the season. They thought it would be tooth and nail all the way. Certainly between the Red Sox and the Yankees.
You know, the Red Sox are playing so well, and you would expect it to continue, but you would also expect the Yankees to go on a good push here at some point in time.
All well and good, but you don't expect the Red Sox to slide.
Yeah, it's just like you don't see it in the cards right now for them to just tank it.
And Mancini on. Davis, the batter, hit a home run to center last night, his 14th. Other than that, it's been a lost year, hitting 162, only 39 driven in. But he will run into one every once in a while.
Seems like he has a big, long, lazy swing until he hits one. He can look bad, but he didn't look bad on this pitch. Little cutter from Eovaldi, dropped right into his happy house there, and he just smoked it to dead center.
It's a weird night for Eovaldi, wasn't it?
Not his night. We saw him pitch so much better the first 2 times out.
Yeah, he had that dominating cutter in the first couple. That just wasn't there for him. He didn't have anything going last night. Red Sox gave him an early lead, but he allowed 8 runs after that, and it was a quick hook, but Sox kept on scoring. 1-2 to Davis. That goes flying on the swing and a miss way down the line, and that's a gold medal toss, I believe, as he strikes out. So that'll be out number 2.
We've seen bats. We've seen it happen. And we see sometimes the same guy do it all the time, but it's probably the longest toss I've ever seen.
This is impressive. I mean,
it's what, 110, 115 feet maybe down the line?
It almost gets to the tarp. So 2 gone for Renato Nunez, 298 with 1 home run. Right now, Hector Velasquez is going to start game 2 against Jeffrey Ramirez. I say right now because they could change depending on what happens in this game, but the expectation is Price will go deep in the ball game. And Hector would get the nod for the second game at 7 tonight. It's also a possibility he could be pressed into duty here in game 1. That'll miss. 2-0.
This is the classic day-night doubleheader, right? So they clear out the stands in between games. Everyone has to have a separate ticket to get back in for the night game.
That's correct.
It won't take long to clear out the stands.
Well, not an overflow crowd, but plenty of Sox fans here.
The Red Sox fans will be upset that they have to leave and come back. Maybe go get some lunch. Or I guess it would be dinner time almost by then, right?
Yeah, I mean, a great place to be in the Inner Harbor here.
Sure.
A lot of terrific restaurants.
A couple hours to kill, have something to eat, come back and watch the Red Sox win again.
Counts down to 3-0 on Nunez. Mancini on at first, no score second inning. He was green lighted and he came up empty.
Now, if you're going to swing 3-0, you got to have a pitch that's basically put right on the tee for you. He liked that one, gave it a big hack, but came up empty.
This game is the makeup game of the washed out contest on July 25th, which drew the ire of the Red Sox in there for a strike. Sox, of course, had a 5-0 lead in that game when the rains washed it away. It was a wasted start for Price in a game that never really should have started.
And now he gets to come right back here and do it again. This is the 3 homers that were washed out in that game. Benny hit one of them. JD Martinez hits one to dead central, just a blast. And then the other MVP candidate, Mookie Betts. This was a 3-run Johnson that got called back.
3-2 and a fly ball into center field. Brockholt going out. Jackie Bradley underneath, and that will take care of that. Nothing comes of the base hit.
Sox prospects to enter the system in decades. Don't miss the story of how this local Rhode Islander was on the road of making his dreams come true until one day everything changed. Catch Red Sox prospects, the Ryan Westmoreland story, Thursday night at 6:30 right here on NESN. Presented by Cross Insurance and Sullivan Tire.
First pitch swinging. Sandy Leon will pop it up. Third baseman slicing in, and Nunez with the catch, one away. Sandy 215, 4 home runs at the top of play today. As he catches game 1, Jackie Bradley will be next. And one number jumping out of Jackie, 4 more runs for him last night. And in 107 seasons from 1908 to 1914, a Red Sox number 9 hitter scored 4 or more in a game only 3 times. Jackie Bradley has done that twice in the last 4 seasons.
Can I guess at someone? Or will I be way wrong?
Go ahead.
Do they give you the other ones?
No.
I'm going to say Butch Hobson. He hit 9th in the Red Sox lineup for a long time. But you know what? I may have been mixing that up because I think Butch Hobson actually drove in 100 from that 9th spot at one point in his career.
Jackie for the year, 213, 9 home runs. Nice night last night, 3 for 4 with a triple, a double, had a base hit, and never got that chance to come up one more time to hit for the cycle.
Left in the on deck circle.
Which of course the man on deck has already done on this trip, Mookie Betts. Yacobonis with a 1-2.
Jackie roped the ball into that left center field gap last night. Watch how far Mullins goes to try to get this. He almost came up with it, but he couldn't do it. It bounced up off the wall. I tell you, if he hits that ball again, no one's going to catch it. Mancini's playing too shallow and left. He can hit it over his head.
Pop to left, Mancini. 2 up, 2 down. Ace Ticket has the best seats to all Red Sox games and concerts at Fenway. The prices and service are better than you can imagine. Visit aceticket.com today. So here's Mookie, 0 for 1 to fly to center. Coming into play today, he had opened up a 20-point lead in the American League batting race. He has scored 98 runs. He's number 2 in the American League behind Francisco Lindor. He's having a great season for the Indians.
So is Jose Ramirez too. Another great year for him. Good team.
Check swing. They do appeal. And it's a swing and a miss. Yeah, they've had a big year. They're leading by 11 over Minnesota, talking about the Indians, but they only have 64 wins. They're not overwhelming opponents. They're actually a game under 500 on the road. For a division leader, that's unusual.
Yep. You got to win everywhere, and certainly got to be competitive on the road.
You know they can be very dangerous. They're a good hitting team.
Scary in a short series.
1-2. Benintendi on deck. Mookie on the verge of reaching 100 runs for the 3rd year in a row. .439 on base percentage. Two on the way from Yacobonis.
You don't see Mookie get fooled very often or out on his front foot like he was on that pitch. Kind of took a lot off his slider that time. Just kind of a breaking ball that kind of slid across the plate. Mookie went out there to try to get it, pulled it down the line. Just out front, you see the little hesitation in the swing to wait for the ball.
Swing and a miss, struck him out. So far, Yacobonis has been very tough. Only 1 base runner. Nesson, August 21 and 22 for coverage of the WEEI Nesson Jimmy Fund Radio Telethon presented by Arbella Insurance Foundation. Arbella Insurance Foundation, here for the Jimmy Fund, here for good. Scoreless to the last half of the third inning. Steve Lyons, Dave O'Brien, Garrett Austin from Baltimore. And a makeup game. First of the doubleheader here tonight. Cedric Mullins will file that one away. What a debut for him last night. His major league debut. Became the first player in Orioles history to record 3 hits in his big league debut. Ranked as the Orioles' number 9 prospect. They love him in the outfield as a defensive center fielder.
Actually surprises me that he's ranked as the number 9 prospect. They've been raving about this kid for a few years now. So they're really looking forward to the extra defensive range here in Camden Yards and on the road. Switch hitter. Much better hitter from the left-hand side.
Very lively guy, big personality, they say, inside the clubhouse. Somebody asked Buck Showalter after the game, do you think that will make a difference for this team, at least in terms of, upping the quality of play down the stretch? He said maybe, but it doesn't make any difference if you give up 19 runs.
Yeah, that was kind of the point we were making earlier when they scored all the runs they scored last night. 17 hits. You're supposed to win those games.
In there, strike 3. Caught him looking. Third K in the book for Price here today. 1 gone.
Price excellent so far today, doing exactly what he wants to do, being able to work both sides of the plate. He's good glove hand side. That's where he needs to be good. We've seen it a couple times what he's trying to do there. Just catch that outer part of the plate against right-handed hitters. Pinpoint control.
Amica Insurance, great service, great coverage, a great price for auto, home, and life insurance. Catcher wins now, 279 with 3 home runs. I think the other thing that jumps out about David Price in this run of starts is just not walking anybody. 6 walks in his last 6 starts. So lots of strikes.
That pitch right there has been so effective for him. His changeup's been excellent, right on the outer part of the plate again.
Strike 2.
Love that. Wins just watch Mullins strike out on a cut fastball on the outer half. Then he sees a changeup on the outer half. And then what does David do? Busts him right inside with another strike in on the hands. Can do anything he wants now.
Ground ball and past the diving Bogarts, a base hit on an 0-2 pitch for the rookie catcher. Let's get out of Garrett.
OB, Steve, as you guys mentioned a little bit earlier, the one thing we've become accustomed to after JD Martinez hits yet another home run is Brock Holt waiting in the dugout for a hug. I was talking to Brock earlier and he said this all started in Toronto. He'd had a dream that JD Martinez hit a home run and he told him. Sure enough, in that game he hits one. Brock said he was so excited he just had to hug him in the dugout. Well, guys, now it has become a thing, but Brock said he maybe should have picked a different guy because JD hit so many home runs. And guys, he said the first thing he was thinking when that ball was out of the park yesterday was would JD be waiting for him, and sure enough he was.
Yeah, quite a bromance there. Here's VR with a runner at first base. Ooh, that one scalded into the dugout. Almost got somebody in the Oriole dugout.
VR was trying to go hard the other way. You don't see this very often. He ran up in the box to take that swing. Watch what it does. Big stutter step, moving up in the box to try to let that ball get deeper in the strike zone. He certainly did let it get deep. Hit it right into their dugout. He's just trying to hit a hard ground ball the other way.
He almost got his manager.
That won't help you get playing time. Nice catch in the stands. And what did he do, Dave? He brought his glove. You never know.
We don't have a shot of that, but we'll take your word for it. It was a nice play. You know, Brock Holt is a ball player through and through when he dreams of a teammate hitting a home run. 0-2, a little trickler towards short. Bogarts firing on, and Big lunge, got him. Moreland hanging out of the bag. Down to second is Wins, and 2 down.
Difficult play for Bogaerts right there because he's charging hard, but then had to go to the backhand side. Still gets enough on the throw. A lot of players would have been tempted to bare hand that ball. I think Bogey knew that he had enough time if he could just make the play with the glove, and that was hard.
A man in scoring position for Beckham, who's 0 for 1 with a pop-up. With Adam Jones on deck. Another guy swinging a pretty good bat for the Orioles. He's homered in 3 of his last 4 games. Price's last time out was against the Yankees, that extra inning victory on Sunday Night Baseball. Of course, he had no decision. He went 6. He allowed only 4 hits, 2 runs, and those scored after the left-hander came out of the game. He'll drop in strike 1. Austin Wins the runner at second. Bit of a breeze out to left here this afternoon. Red Sox with 2 games today, a single game on Sunday. Then it is off to Philadelphia. The Red Sox are going to be taking the train from Baltimore to Philly. And we'll have Monday off. That's a quick 2-game series against the Phillies. And heading back home for an extended homestand. 2-1.
You like the city of brotherly love?
Like Philadelphia a lot. Yeah, if you're into history at all.
Oh,
and I certainly am.
Great city for that.
They have a couple of, this might surprise you, a couple of the very best Civil War museums in the entire country.
It shouldn't surprise anybody, though, right? Think about it.
Well, you know, you think about the Revolutionary War, you think about Independence Hall and, you know, Liberty Bell, all that stuff first. Great museums. 2-1.
I mean, I'm going to find a museum like that in Montana. You know what I mean? Got to figure in the Northeast is probably where we're going to find some of that excellent history stuff that you can relive.
Love this shot because you look like you're about 7 feet tall, and I look like I'm in a punishment chair over here.
How was that? Is that better?
Yeah.
There you go. Anyway,
you go back.
There.
See, now
look at how much you're growing. Look at how you grow. Look at how much you get bigger like that. It's crazy.
It's a lot of movement, I think, just to get us on camera. It's just not worth it. 3-2 the count.
The punishment chair.
Kind of
what did you do? What did you do wrong? Nobody puts Dave in the corner.
Apparently that's not true. Yankees have a 2-0 lead on Texas in the second. Price trying to get out of this with a runner at second. 2 away. Here comes the payoff to Beckham. He rolls that one foul in the Red Sox dugout.
Price very methodical today. Looks good. Throwing all of his pitches for strikes. Probably a little upset with himself in the Wins at bat. He had him 0-2. Then threw a pitch right out over the middle of the plate that got hit. He's on second base now.
And he'll do the 3-2 again on Beckham. Swung on and missed and pulled the string beautifully for the changeup to fan him. It's the first of its kind in a region no stranger to firsts. MGMSpringfield.com. Toyota's official website for deals. BuyAToyota.com and by Franklin Sports, the official batting glove of Major League Baseball and the Red Sox. Well, after the explosion of runs last night, really for both teams, very quiet here so far in game one. No scores. We go to the fourth inning. Benintendi, Moreland, Martinez will try and change that. Jimmy Yacobonis has been a bit of a mystery. He's allowed only one hit, came in with an ERA of 7.15 in limited duty this year. Just his third start for Baltimore. Red Sox getting their second look against him, though. Benintendi has lined to left, 0 for 1. Benintendi now fourth in the American League in runs scored. Red Sox rank second, third, and fourth in that category. Betts, Martinez, and Benintendi in the American League. Those three appear in the top 10 in a bunch of categories. All three are in the top 10 in batting average, all in the top 10 in on-base percentage, all of them in total bases and extra base hits. 2-0 pitch. And a fly ball into left field. Routine play for Mancini. And a fast out.
Hey, you're looking for a place to catch up on everything Red Sox? Well, the Ultimate Red Sox Show has you covered as we bring you all the must-see moments from the past week. Don't miss the Ultimate Red Sox Show tomorrow at 5:30, presented by Sam Adams, the official beer of the Boston Red Sox.
Moreland's 0 for 1. He's flied to left. If you missed it, the Red Sox today recalled right-hander William Cuevas from AAA as the 26th man for the day-night doubleheader. Under Major League rules, both teams are permitted to add an extra player for today's games. And highly likely he's going to pitch at some point in game 2. JD Martinez on deck. And the 1-0. Yacobonis, 26 years old, from New Jersey. And a very good command so far today. Gentle ground ball. VR will handle that from the outfield grass. 2 away. Well, if the Red Sox win, Plainridge Park Casino will donate $777 to the Relay for Life of North Attleboro. JD Martinez 0 for 1. He has grounded to short. We were talking about it in his at bat last night late in the game where he drove in 2 with a base hit. Red Sox had runners at second and third. And Buck Showalter decided to bring the infield in right before he came up to bat. Obviously trying to prevent that runner from third scoring. He comes up to hit, and with the base open, Buck Showalter does not walk him. So two different thought processes there. It seemed one hitter to the next.
And it should have been one into the next instead of the way he did it. He made a smart move by putting the infield in. He didn't want the Red Sox to score any more runs. Mitch Moreland was up. He hit a grounder to the first baseman. Nobody could move up. They got the out at first. Now you have the wide open. First base is open with the best hitter in baseball coming to the plate, and you don't walk him to get to the next guy to get the final out. It didn't make any sense at all.
Very odd. I mean, the Red Sox had a 7-run lead. But in this ballpark, you can work with that.
And also, you made a point before we came on the air today is that, sometimes he's putting these guys in positions to see how they react to it maybe next season or how he's going to manage things. This is a lost season. They're not going anywhere. But that doesn't mean that you still don't walk the best player in the game so you can get after the next guy.
Well, he made him pay with a 2-run single. And really put the ball game on ice there. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Rounds that one right at the third baseman, gobbled up by Nunez. And it's a quiet inning once again for the Red Sox. They go in order. Will donate $50 to the Greater Boston Food Bank. Price has done that 4 times so far today. Nothing game to the bottom of the 4th inning. Jones, Trumbo, Mancini. Adam Jones whiffed in the 1st inning. Well, last night in the entire ball game, with all those runs scored, there were only 3 1-2-3 innings for the entire ball game. It's already happened 4 times here today for the 2 clubs combined.
Both teams might have been a little tired offensively after that long game and all the run production.
Is that the theory you're going with? Tired of scoring runs?
Don't get tired of being excellent.
Now Price has him down 0-2. That skips away. Price going after his 12th win of the season. And it's Chris Sale tomorrow. Red Sox very excited to get the ace back. At 105, he'll be taking on the right-hander Alex Cobb, who is 3-14.
Wow, that's their big free agent acquisition.
Little roller. He had a lunge after that one and just nudged a seam on the baseball to hang in there. That good changeup.
Changeup's been very, very good today. Puts it right where he wants to. Throws it a lot.
It's been really good all season, hasn't it?
Yeah, it wouldn't be surprising to see him go back to back here either.
Trying to fan Jones for the 2nd time.
Fastball outer half.
Ground ball up the middle, and that'll squeak through for a base hit. So Jones wins this battle.
Stay tuned to Nesson and don't miss Red Sox first pitch, presented by Joseph Abboud, available at Men's Warehouse. Adam and Lenny will be breaking down David Price's start.
A leadoff man on here for the Orioles for the first time in the ball game. 6-game hitting streak for Jones. Trumbo the DH next. 0 for 1. He's popped up. Chris Sale is still leading the American League despite that stay on the disabled list in ERA, and he's tied for the league in strikeouts with Garrett Cole of Houston. And to me, Watching him do a little bit of his work in Toronto, he looked antsy to get back on the mound. Very good sign.
He's always hyped up for those starts. Get ready to get back out there and play the game.
Cross for a strike. Alex Cora termed his bullpen session in Toronto aggressive. Really got after it. Pop in the mid.
I don't think anyone would expect any different from him.
Texas on the board against the Yankees, 2-1 New York there in the third. Trumbo certainly a double play candidate.
No cutter away.
Orioles with 3 hits. They're all singles. One, two, and he puts him away. 93 miles an hour. Trumbo not thrilled with the call as he walks away, but he fans. One gone.
This is just good old country hardball. Fastball up in the zone. Price has tried that against a few other guys with limited success. He just tried that with Jones. He banged a base hit out of him. And the same thing when he had 0-2 count to wins. He tried the same thing and he got a base hit, but this time he blows Trumbo away with it.
Here's Mancini, 1 for 1 with a single. Nothing, fourth inning. Started with a changeup away.
Right now, David Price has such confidence in that changeup. He'll throw it in any count, anytime.
Red Sox after the Phillies series have a day off on Thursday the 16th and then open up a homestand against Tampa Bay and Cleveland. And when that Tampa Bay series begins, there will be only 40 games left. And when the Indians are in town, that'll be our first look at Cleveland this year. Red Sox will be heading there to Cleveland in late September on their last road trip of the regular season.
It's amazing you can go that deep into the season and not see a ball club.
It really is. Jones at first, 1 away, 1-2. That's in there for strike 3. Back-to-back Ks. He froze Mancini and strikes him out.
Right now, his 2 best pitches are his changeup and his cutter. He owns the outer half of the plate with both of those pitches, and he's just showing his fastball or occasionally going up in the zone with his 4-seamer to get strikeouts or give you a different look. But right now, that outer half of the plate is all David Price's.
He's fan 6. Got this man the first time, Chris Davis. So after allowing the leadoff single to Jones, he's trying to strike out 3 in a row. When you look at Chris Davis from a premier slugger to what he's become now, what do you think went wrong?
Well, there's a lot of theories. You can get complacent. Signed a huge deal. He's 32, 33 years old. You start to, you're leaving your prime.
Did he offer? He did. 0-2.
I had heard from people that they feel like he's still giving it a good effort, still working out hard, still trying to figure out what went wrong. But once you get on the backside of 30, 32 years old, it's hard to be the same guy. Get a big payday. Maybe you don't do the extra sit-ups in the offseason that you used to do.
0-2. Tried to get him to go after that one. 1 ball and 2 strikes, 2 down, a runner at first base. He's always been a high strikeout guy. Tons of swing and miss. None of that's changed.
Yeah. But I mean, my goodness, the batting average.
Batting average and the RBI and the home run totals, frankly, are way down. Pops that one up. Nunez ranging, but no play. That's off into the seats.
And that's an odd situation right there out of Davis. He fouls this pitch off into the seats, and he literally had no idea where he hit the ball. It's strange. It doesn't happen very often. Watch this. This is a foul ball over the third base dugout. Where's he going?
One, two, runs in. Red Sox in the fifth inning will have due up Bogaerts, Holt, Nunez against Yacobonis. Sox have been held to one hit today.
I think that'll change when you start getting to the third time through the order.
Price eyeing another K. He put him away. 3 consecutive strikeouts for the left-hander. 1 man left.
Back again this year, August 20th through the 22nd. This special ticket offer, you can get the whole family to Fenway and get free parking at the Prudential Center Garage, a free Boston Duck Tour shuttle ride to and from Fenway, a free hot dog, a free fountain soda with every ticket courtesy of Aramark.
Line drive and a base hit by Xander Bogaerts, his second of the day. To begin the fifth inning for the Red Sox, they have a leadoff man on. But a lot of free stuff there.
Lots of free stuff. It's worth it.
So Xander 2 for 2. See if this gets the Red Sox going. Just their second hit today against Yacobonis. Brock Holt fan in the second inning, so he's 0 for 1. You realize at Camden Yards in his career, Brock had 3 hits last night. His average is 403. In 72 lifetime at bats here, 403, a 476 on base percentage, and slugging 542. So when he talked about it last night, hey, this is a really good ballpark to hit in, he wasn't kidding. He was talking about all the Red Sox, but himself included. That one rolls away, but no advance for Bogaerts. Gets away from Davis, but not far enough.
And the way the defense is set up right now, they're set up for another Brock Holt base hit. It looked like they were going to try to pitch Brock Holt inside. And if you look at where VR is at second base, He's got to play in double play depth, but there is a huge gap between first and second. He's the only one over there that could stop a ball. If you're looking at a first and third situation, if Brock just shoots one into that 2-hole.
Would you think about doing any running here, putting a man in motion, trying to get something going offensively?
Not too worried yet. I know Bogey can steal a base. See if it's a more favorable count to run on.
Fly ball center field, driving back Mullins. Plenty of space though. One gone. Xander Bogaerts holding at first.
Tonight, after Red Sox coverage on NESN Sports Today, we're going to have a full recap of today's Sox doubleheader, plus highlights and reaction from Patriots preseason. NESN Sports Today is presented by People's United Bank, where the technology is as helpful as the people.
Eduardo Nunez 0 for 1, fly to right field. May have missed it last night. It's a great story. The Rangers rookie against the Yankees, Ronald Guzman, put on a show for his father, his dad Manuel, his mother Margarita, his brothers, and 20+ family members who traveled all the way from the Dominican Republic to watch him play in the Bronx last night. And he hit 3 home runs to carry Texas to a 12-7 win. It was his dad's first time watching his son play in the majors. And he goes to Yankee Stadium, hits 3.
A little emotional, you think.
Great moment, great story. Bogaerts aboard. 2-0. Sandy Leon on deck. Red Sox trying to get on the scoreboard here this afternoon in game 1. Looked to hold up a swing. Looked like he did. And yes, the first base umpire Fletcher agrees. So it's 3-0. Red Sox have not had 2 base runners on in any inning yet. There's a shot on the 3-0 pitch, driven down the line, hit up at a corner, and that ball is gone. A home run. Nunez with his 7th, an absolute rocket shot, and the Red Sox are on top 2-0. Eduardo jumping all over that pitch on 3-0.
Well, that's good to see out of Eddie right there. He hasn't been hitting the ball out of the ballpark very often, but if you're going to swing at a 3-0 pitch, you better get your head out there of the bat head and make sure you don't miss it.
Only question was fair or foul, and plenty fair. Speedway donating $500 to Boston Children's Hospital for every Red Sox homer. Through the end of August, use your Speedy Rewards card when you purchase 3 cooler beverages and receive 1,000 bonus points. Now, one of the things he showed when he was dealt from the Giants last year was surprising power, and he can drive the ball. He got one to drive.
Didn't he hit 7 homers after he got here?
He really did show surprising pop. A trickler here by Sandy Leon at the second baseman VR. 2 down, so finally the Red Sox breaking through here today. Bogaerts with a base hit, Nunez with the 2-run shot, and that'll bring up Jackie Bradley. Stay tuned after the 3rd out for the Mid-Fifth Studio Show with Adam and Lenny. Jackie 0 for 1. He's flied out to left. Sox up 2-0. And Mookie Betts on deck. Red Sox, of course, have had their way with the Baltimore Orioles. They've won 11 out of 13. High shot, right field, deep, sailing back, carrying, gone. Jackie Bradley with number 10. 3-0 Red Sox. They found the answer against Yacobonis finally here in the 5th inning.
When the Red Sox are unfamiliar with a starting pitcher, it usually takes them one or two times through the order. And then after that, the bad news travels fast. They understand, they know what they've seen, they start figuring it out. And Jackie, nice, short, compact swing up and over the wall in right field.
Well, there was the home run he was looking for in his last at bat last night. It had that come, but he was on the on-deck circle. Never got a chance to hit for the cycle.
How amazing would that have been? Cycles on back-to-back nights. We talk about how rare it is. Just over 300 in the history of the game.
Red Sox blasting a pair of home runs here in the 5th inning. Nunez and Bradley.
And oh, by the way, now it's the top of the order.
Sean Gilmartin, the left-hander, begins to loosen in their bullpen. Top of the order, and Mookie Betts 0 for 2.
Gilmartin was the guy they just called up for this doubleheader.
Mookie with 27 home runs, and he'll look at a strike. He's trying to run his hitting streak to 6 in a row. He does have a 9-game hitting streak against the Orioles. Seems he always does have a long hitting streak against Baltimore.
That pitch didn't have to be a strike. Could have been away. Mookie doesn't say a thing.
0 for 2 today, but he had reached in 10 of his last 11 plate appearances. Line shot, base hit. So the hits are falling in, and they're going over the fence too against Yacobonis. Took until the 5th inning, but the Red Sox are all over him. And a 6-game hitting streak for Mookie.
His ability to hit is just uncanny. Yacobonis tried to go back to that same pitch, a fastball away that Mookie thought was too far outside. Goes basically back to that same location, and he has to chuck and duck. Mookie shoots it right back up the middle at him.
Andrew Benintendi is lined to left and flied to left. Catcher Wins will head on out. And probably to get Gilmartin a little more time to throw out there.
They'll stand out there and talk until the umpire comes out to get him.
Just a time killer. Red Sox in front 3-0. And here comes Buck to make the move right here. We will keep it here as well with the Red Sox exploding now. Xander Bogaerts starting it with a base hit. Nunez cranking that 3-0 shot down the left field line for a 2-run homer. 1 out later, Jackie Bradley tags his 10th home run. Mookie Betts with the base hit, and that's the last pitch to be thrown by Yacobonis. Gilmartin coming on. Let's toss it down to Guerin.
Thanks, Obi. Well, on Thursday night, Mookie Betts became the first player in the majors to hit for the cycle this season. He talked to me about where this ranks in everything that he's been doing this year.
That's kind of mid-tier. You know, it's something that's pretty cool, but you know, I got to keep the eyes on the prize.
And how about Brock Holt kind of giving you a hard time because he was the last one to do it for the Red Sox?
Yeah, he said he said that was the one thing I took from him, but you know, we can say he's the last left-handed hitter, so we'll leave it at that.
And at what point in the game did you think that you had a chance?
I think after the double was the last thing. So at that point, you know, it was the 4th inning. I knew I would get a couple more at bats, and you know, I felt like I had a chance, but you know, I wasn't up there trying. Well, one pitch I was, but other than that, I was just making sure we won the game.
And I was going to say, what's the mindset in that last at bat?
I mean, you know, I got into a 3-1 count, and that was the one time, you know, I really said I was actually trying to hit a homer. But then, you know, once I got to 3-2, I was just, you know, trying to get another base hit and ended up going over the wall.
Hitting for the cycle, just another incredible night in his season that Mookie's been having. Obey.
Thanks, Garen. I love that where he says, I wasn't really trying. Well, on one pitch I was. He sure was.
And that was the one pitch he said, I'll never see a better pitch than that in my entire career.
Yeah, that was the 3-1.
Most hitters would be uncomfortable with that. Like we just talked about the 3-0 pitch that Nunez hit out of the park. You've got to be sitting on one pitch in one location, and if you get it, you can't miss. Most hitters would worry about themselves if they see the pitch they're looking for and either swing through it, foul it off, or hit it weakly. Mookie swung right through that one, came back and hit the next pitch out of the park. He doesn't care.
Well, the Red Sox lost the game, and they were losing at that time, but they hadn't lost yet when he hit the home run. So some were critical of, well, he celebrated. Well, the game wasn't over yet, and you just hit a home run.
Yeah, and you know the game has changed too. You know these guys, they're so fun and so happy with the way they've played. You know, when they lose a game, they just figure someone's going to pay for it the next day. So we're still going to celebrate the individual achievements during that game.
So rare to hit for the cycle too. Well, Benintendi up against Gil Martin, just called up as the 26th man today. Mookie Betts on at first base. Red Sox ahead 3-0. Benintendi 0 for 2, hitting .301. Trying to run his hitting streak to 10 in a row. Moreland on deck as the offense has finally clicked here today. Mookie with 22 stolen bases.
Mookie's job is to try to draw a throw or two over there from Gil Martin. Nobody on this team's really seen him or his move. They want to know what he's got. Walking lead by Mookie. If Gil Martin doesn't stop Mookie on that walking lead, he will take off.
Left-handed with a 2-0. Not to be made. Mookie back in. Yacobonis had shut down the Red Sox on one hit in 4 innings, but Xander Bogaerts started it with a single here in the 5th. 2-run homer by Nunez, solo shot by Jackie Bradley, base hit by Mookie Betts, and the Red Sox did figure him out finally. That's up high for ball 3.
We clearly know that the Red Sox have the green light on a 3-0 pitch. Just make sure it's your pitch.
Runner holding, and that's in there at 88 miles an hour. We will have a second game tonight at 7:05. And just one game tomorrow. That's the plan anyway. We'll see if the weather has an effect. 3-1. Runner going. Line shot and over the leaping BR. Betts had been taken off, so he's going to advance to third, and Mookie will stop there. And Benintendi runs the hitting streak to 10 in a row with a line drive.
Well, in last night's game, Benny hit a 3-run homer, and his swing was picture perfect. We're going to show you that and break it down a little bit. Here's the pitch. It's just a breaking ball, kind of a slider. Look at his head down. The weight distribution is perfect. You see the flight of the pitch. And I watch him from the side. Such an easy stride. Watch the front foot gets down. His vision on the pitch, right on it, and straight down the barrel of his bat. Watch it, and look at the balance through his head, right through his back leg. He kind of back-legged that ball way out of the ballpark. 3-run home. That is a pretty swing. Same swing right there, just didn't get lift on that ball for the base hit.
Red Sox with their 5th hit in the inning. They had 1 hit in the first 4 innings. Moreland trying to add to it. He's flied to left and grounded to second.
And we know, OB, that Benny's a young player, but we know what he is and what he has a chance to be. But he has the kind of swing that you should see pictures of in magazines. You know, it is that picture perfect.
A tremendous natural ability, but a lot of work goes into that.
Sure.
keeping that swing so refined.
Remember early in the season, it was a little out of whack. He was coming around a lot of balls, and he knew it, and he worked tirelessly to try to figure that out, to get more direct to the ball. Once he figured it out, the rest of the season's been a breeze for him.
It's such a long season, it's easy to forget when guys struggle at different times. He's been hot for a long time. This one popped up, twisting foul, and over the top of the Red Sox dugout.
Well, if Mookie goes 0 for 4, he thinks he's struggling. And even that doesn't happen very often.
Season began in March. Regular season, so been at it a long time here. This afternoon, Red Sox playing for their 83rd win. First and third, and the 1-2 won't be made. Toss over to first base. Mookie went darting down the third base line. Benintendi got back in.
Mookie get a fairly sizable lead. You see, when the throw goes to first base, he wants to get down the line to make sure nothing strange happens over there. He can get a pretty good lead at third base right now because third baseman's playing way off the line.
Up the middle, scooped up, and he'll get the out at second base on a flip from VR to retire the side. But the Red Sox get 3. It's time to turn it over to Adam and Lenny for the mid-fifth studio show, guys. Plenty of sunshine today. No rain. Let me say that again. In Baltimore, so far no rain.
No rain. I like that mid-fifth report. Adam doing a little research, telling us that the 5th inning is the inning.
Well, he's always
the Red Sox
incredibly prepared.
Yep, sure is.
Nunez to lead things off here. He's 0 for 1 with a fly to center. At the midway point, Red Sox have now out-hit Baltimore 6-3. Price been very tough. He struck out 3 in a row last inning after allowing a leadoff single to Adam Jones. So 7 Ks for the lefty, once again staying away from ball 4. I think personally that is a huge part of his success in this really fine run he's on.
Not putting unwanted base runners on. And, you know, he's going to give up some hits here and there. He knows that. He doesn't mind doing that, but he doesn't want to give up hits after walking guys, and he hasn't been doing that at all. So you can get yourself out of trouble when there's not excess base runners. Look at that pitch. That's falling off the table. There's no reason for someone to be swinging at that pitch. And the reason why they do it is they can't recognize that it's a changeup. They're thinking it's a fastball. They can't recognize the arm speed difference. Ball falls off a table and you have no chance of hitting it.
1-2. Fly ball off the end of the bat. Benintendi covers the ground over near the line. One man out. Let's toss it down to Garrett.
Thanks, OB. Get expert emergency care without leaving the ballpark at the Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center First Aid Station, located behind Section 12 on the lower concourse. Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center is the official hospital of the Boston Red Sox. OB.
Garrett, thank you. Mullins will be next. He struck out looking first time up. Price gets the first man. Last start he did walk 3 over 6 innings against the Yankees, but in the previous 5 starts, Price had 0, 1, 0, 1, and 1 walk. That one bunted foul.
Exactly illustrating your point, Dave. Today his MO has just been to a T executed. Change-ups, backdoor cutters on the outer half, showing the guys inside every once in a while, and then after 2 strikes, really challenging guys. It seems like the only time he's really trying to pitch to contact is after there's 2 strikes.
Line the other way for a base hit. Well, Mullins, a good-looking young player. He's only been up for a day and a half, but he already has 4 hits.
Good piece of hitting right there. That ball middle away from him, just lets the ball travel into the zone and shoots it back out of there. You can already see a little difference in his swings between right and left. His left-handed swing is definitely a little more refined, but he'll take that base hit all day long from the right side.
1 for 2 today. All 4 hits off of Price so far today have been singles. One of those by this man, Austin Wins, base hit in the 3rd.
Wins has hit 6 straight games now. It's hard to do when you're the backup catcher, you know. Don't get to play that often when you get in there. He's had a home run in 2 of those last 4 games that he's played.
And when you're the backup, 6-game hitting streak could be like 3.5 weeks.
Yeah, or longer.
You look at a strike, the cutter.
Danny Butler got into the game, his first start of this season, got himself a base hit in last night's game. You assume he'll probably catch the 2nd game of this doubleheader today.
Now that was an important hit too. That was in the midst of that 6-run inning where the Red Sox flipped the game. A nice line drive base hit to right.
Well, I love the fact that you recognize those kind of things, because the 2 most important things that we saw, even though everyone was crushing the ball and they scored 6 runs, 2 of the things that were really important were Danny Butler's hit and the walk to Rafael Devers that kept things going.
Alex Cora was raving about that after the game, about what a big at bat that was, talking about Devers, how disciplined he was. You're not talking about a kid who goes up there looking to take ball 4, work a deep count. He's gripping and ripping. If he likes it, he's firing away. And he has outstanding power. But that was such a calm, measured, disciplined at bat, knowing the pitcher was struggling and was walking people, and he made him pitch, and it was a bases loaded walk. That one disappeared. Down he goes, hacking. Strikeout number 8. Time now for a game break, brought to you by Jordan's, the furniture store of the Boston Red Sox. Here's Adam Pellerin. All right, Adam, thank you. Keep us posted there. Red Sox up by 9. Inside the division, VR will be next. He's flied out, grounded out to short. Red Sox up 3-0. After winning big last night, 19-12.
You know, going back to the Devers at bat there, I mean, he's 21 years old. We know how aggressive he is when he goes up to the plate. That was an at bat where he did see 2 nasty pitches for strikes. He saw 2 nasty sliders off the plate that he was trying to get him to swing at, and he wouldn't do it. Just a all-around excellent at bat that helped his team win a game.
It reminded me of Steve Pearce's at bat against the Yankees when the Red Sox rallied against Chapman. It was just such a smart, professional at bat. You know, knowing who was behind him, knowing that Chapman was spraying it all over the place, but could occasionally lock back in and throw a strike and maybe strike you out, make you look bad.
At any time.
But Pierce won that fight.
You know, that's the part of the game that comes later on for a lot of guys, especially let's use Devers as an example again. We know he's tremendously talented and he can go up there and do some damage, but the part he has to learn, and it takes a lot of guys a long time to learn, is the awareness of the game around you. As you said, who's hitting behind me? Maybe he's got a better shot at really juicing this guy if I can just work out a base hit or a walk. Or who hit in front of me? What's going to happen right after my at-bat? Those are the things that baseball, because it's such a selfish game, you're so worried about yourself. Sometimes you can't see the forest for the trees.
It's another thing that Alex Cora does very well, you know, praising a guy who might not have hit the 3-run homer, didn't drive in the 5 runs, you know, didn't throw the 2-hit shutout, but who had a major impact in the win. You know, to reaffirm that.
Alex Cora spends most of his time with the guys that aren't in the lineup. Those are the guys that need to be talked to. Like you said, he doesn't have to talk to the guy who hit a 3-run homer. He's good. You know, he need to talk to the guy that maybe had a tough strikeout in that game in a situation.
One ball and 1 strike on VR. 2 down, a man aboard.
Cutters and changeups. Goodness, he is dominating the outer half of the strike zone. Up and away on a corner, can't get it.
Gets a strike if he swings or not.
And this is the strange part of David's game today, is in this situation when he's ahead in the count, this is where he's been challenging hitters with four-seam fastballs, like daring them to hit the ball.
Uses 1-2. He puts away another man. Down he goes with the swing and the miss. Back-to-back Ks give him 9 for the ball game. Top 6, Red Sox hit 3-0. JD Martinez in the box. He's gone 0 for 2 today. 3 runs on 6 hits for Boston. Nothing across on 4 hits for Baltimore. What has been a terrific outing out of David Price again. Fly ball into center. Mullins there. And JD hitless so far today. 1 gone. Xander Bogaerts next. After the game, stay tuned. The Red Sox final presented by Rodenheiser Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electric with Adam and Lenny. In the pregame, they highlighted on the Rodenheiser Heat Zone. Andrew Benintendi is hot entering the ball game. He's got himself another knock today. Yacobonis cold, and he's already out.
That's how cold he is. He's in a cold shower.
4 2/3. Red Sox got him in the end for 3 runs, 5 hits. Xander Bogaerts part of that, 2 for 2. Pair of singles and a run.
Yeah, Cabonis was sharp early on, but these guys just wear you down.
Xander gave the Red Sox a 3-run lead with a home run last night, his 17th. And with his string of high quality at bats recently, Alex Cora is convinced he's about to go on a long, long hot streak. Might be at the beginning of that right now.
Last night's ball game. Wow. Wasn't his best swing, but he still kept his hands back and had the power to hit it out of the ballpark anyway. He was a little bit fooled by that pitch. Didn't matter.
Liner down the left field line into the corner. And that's a fair ball that skips up against the fence.
This will be close.
He's heading into second. He'll slide in as the throw comes trickling in. He's got a double and he's 3 for 3 today.
We just showed you the picture of him swinging at the home run ball that he hit last night. He was out in front a little bit. He was fooled by the pitch. He was not fooled by this pitch at all. Got right out in front of it. Little off speed. Look at the balance there. Head right down over the ball. Hits that right down the line and hit it hard.
It's a perfect day for Xander. His 8th 3-hit game of the season. Brock Holt looking to pick him up. He has struck out and flied out today. And Gil Martin with the 0-1. Runner goes. Here's the throw down, and it's off into the outfield. He's going to jump over the third baseman and head on in. So misfire. Red Sox benefiting from their own aggressiveness, and that'll make it 4-0. He gets a stolen base, and it's an E2 to bring him home.
Don't be thinking that the pressure is off just because guys get on base. That's when the pressure starts to heat up. All these guys can run. They're not afraid to take advantage of their speed. That's a ball as a third baseman you have to keep in front of you. You can't let this ball get by you. You have to fall on it, dive on it, do something. It can't go down the left field line so the run scores easily.
So Sox up by 4. Base is empty now for Brock Holt. He's bunting toward third base. It's a beauty. Wow. Nunez sticks it in his back pocket, and Brock Holt with a gorgeous bunt. Now these are the kind of sequences in a game where the Red Sox really exert their total will, isn't it?
Yeah, anything you need to do. You need a guy to hit a ball out of the park. You hit a ball off the wall, drop down a picture perfect bunt. It's like the white flag comes out at some point. Come on, leave us alone.
Brock 3 hits last night, base hit now. That brings up Nunez, who cranked the home run to really get it going in the 5th inning. Jackie Bradley did the same thing.
Again, because of the shifting defenses, the hole between first and second becomes even more pronounced for Nunez because the second baseman's playing farther up the middle. It's a huge hole over there.
1 ball and 1 strike on Eduardo. Last 12 games, Eduardo Nunez is hitting .360. Right to the shortstop Beckham. To VR. On to first, and they will turn the double play, but the Red Sox add another run now on top, 4-0. Snacks for $2 like donut fries, pretzel bites, and ham and cheese roll-ups. Steve's favorite. America runs on Dunkin'. Price and participation may vary. It's a limited time offer. Bottom of the 6th inning. Red Sox in a 4-0 lead here behind David Price, who has 9 Ks in the book. He's gotten this guy Beckham once. He's also had him fly out.
Really starting to see David Price be the old David Price again. Complete command of this ball game, doing virtually anything he wants to do. Had a good fastball today, an excellent cutter, an excellent changeup, owning the outer half of the plate.
Yeah, those 9 strikeouts are a season high. He's done that 3 times now.
Well, he's going to be in this game for a while to get a few more.
Red Sox were heavy into the bullpen last night. Got another game coming tonight. Thus far, he's been just what the doctor ordered.
And you would be tempted to think that it's a good idea to load up your lineup with right-handed hitters, as they have today, but he has dominated the right-handed hitters with the cutter and the changeup down and away from them. It hasn't helped them at all to be in the box on the right-hand side.
He has never lost at Camden Yards. 7-0 here with a 2.96 ERA in 11 starts. Line drive, but there's Brock Holt to snatch that.
The shifty was playing up the middle. Hey, through this weekend only, the Red Sox are offering no fees on Red Sox tickets purchased at redsox.com. All processing fees on tickets will be waived. So go to redsox.com/tickets to take advantage of this limited time offer. You do still have to pay for the ticket, though, right?
Indeed, you do.
I finally got a promo with a limited time offer. You were the king of those.
Well, that'll bring up Adam Jones, who's gone 1 for 2 with a base hit. Only 4 singles scattered around by Price so far. Big hack and a miss. Started him with a curveball. Well, he's throwing everything for strikes.
The kitchen sink. It's impressive.
Trumbo on deck. The 0-1 from Price. Pop foul out of play.
I think there's no question it was a big hurdle for the last start against the Yankees for David Price, as he threw an excellent game. Had the rough time up in New York. That will be another hurdle for him to go into New York and beat them up there. But other than that, you're looking at everything he's done when he pitches any other start, and he's been amazing.
Well, trying to punch out Jones for the 2nd time today and give him 10 for the ball game. Line drive instead. That's a gapper onto the grass, the track, and up against the fence. Jones to second base with a stand-up double. So he's had a couple of good at-bats today. He is 2 for 3. Lenny DiNardo is back there in the green room. And Lenny, what are you seeing so far, Mr. Price?
I'll tell you what, his cutter and his changeup are lights out. They look similar out of his hand, but one moves glove side, one moves arm side. So those 2 pitches together, it's really hard for a hitter to pick up the difference.
Especially when both of those pitchers are on the corner on the outer half. So one's just nipping the corner coming at you. The other one's breaking down and away from you, staying on the black on the outside part.
That's key. Location's key. And he's really just sprinkling in 92, 93 mile-an-hour fastballs and a curveball every now and then just to show that, here, I've got this in my bag as well.
Lenny, you here all day for both games?
I will be here all day. I'm ready.
Attaboy. Talk to you again.
Good to see you guys.
Thanks, Lenny. Trumbo, the batter. He's popped up and struck out in this one. That, by the way, was the 300th career double for Adam Jones. In a scoring position with 1 away. Red Sox ahead 4-0.
And Dave, again, on an 0-2 pitch was where Price challenged Jones there with a fastball, and he hit it. It's really the only time people are making solid contact is when they are in an 0-2 or a 1-2 count.
Golf that one off himself. So to count 1-1, Trumbo with 17 home runs. Here's the foul ball swing. That actually did look like somebody's golf swing that will go unnamed. Ugly, capital U.
Your swing
for me.
Your swing isn't that bad.
Just awful. Trumbo's was worlds better, actually. Red Sox are scheduling the relief pitcher Hector Velasquez to start game 2 at 7. Hector's 7-0 with a 2.64 ERA. Yankees still lead 2-1 on Texas there in the 6th inning. And for the first time today, activity in the bullpen. It's Heath Hembry getting started.
See if David Price kind of sticks with the same MO this deep into the game, or if he starts to subtly change things. He's been living on the outer half of the plate. Sometimes you'll feel like, well, these guys are going to start to adjust that. I may have to show them something different.
1-2. Back to that reliable cutter. Now you wonder, will he throw a changeup and put him away with that, or go back to the cutter? He's had them guessing all day.
The other pitch that he's used sparingly but very effectively, 4-seam fastball up.
Swing and a miss. That fooled him badly. He did go to the changeup, and it was a dandy.
Been such a good pitch for him all day long.
10
no
Ks,
reason not to use it.
10 strikeouts, Steve. That is a season high for him.
Domination. It's like Lenny was talking about. Both of those pitches look like the exact same pitch out of his hand. So you can't tell the difference between 92 and 85 right out of his hand until it gets to the plate.
Here's his pitching line, brought to you by Ace Ticket. Again, hasn't walked anybody. Only one of the hits, one of the 5 has been for extra bases, the Jones double. Impressive. Now Mancini, who has singled and whiffed. David's career high in strikeouts is 14. He's done that a couple of times. Most recently in April of 2016. Got to be careful with Mancini. He has 16 home runs, very upright stance. Strike 1. Well, he likes that change. He has such great command. Just dotted the corner with it. Working so well with Sandy Leon. Two down, a man on. Strike 2.
Change up for one pitch at about 84. Cutter for the next pitch at 90. Same result, 0-2 pitching.
Here comes number 94 for the left-hander. Looking to put away Mancini. Right back to him. Price has that underhand toss. That is all. Nothing comes of the double. Price has been a big part of the success today. 4-0 Boston.
And don't miss Red Sox Game Day Live presented by DCU. Adam and Lenny will preview Game 2 of this doubleheader. DCU, Digital Federal Credit Union. What can DCU save you?
To the 7th inning, Red Sox with a 4-0 lead here in the first game of the doubleheader after winning big last night, 19-12. Very different game today. It's been dominated by David Price, who has struck out a season-high 10. Red Sox got all of their runs in the 5th inning, or 3 of the runs in the 5th inning, other in the 6th inning, to take a 4-0 advantage. Sandy Leon leading off. Hitless on the days, popped up and grounded out. They'll be followed by Jackie Bradley, who's belted a home run, and then Mookie Betts. And a lefty with a 3-0. That's going to miss for ball 4. So Sandy is on. Time now for our high-strength steel play, brought to you by New England Chevy dealers and the Chevy Silverado.
Well, Jackie Bradley, look at this swing right there. When he gets into one, everybody in the house knows it. Hits that halfway up the deck there. Starting to slide a little bit over the road trip. The big day yesterday, and another big home run today.
Jackie with his 10th. Tyler Thornburg working in the bullpen. David Price going 6. Didn't walk anybody. No runs, just 5 hits, 10 Ks. He's in a real nice groove. Chris Sale coming back tomorrow.
On 10 strikeouts, no walks, no runs.
And less than 100 pitches.
That's not just a good outing. That's a great outing. Seen a lot of that out of him lately.
We sure have. One outstanding outing after another, really. And the Red Sox up 4-0.
I really thought that when David fell on hard times, it had nothing to do with velocity or stuff. It had more to do with location, where he just wasn't really hitting his spots. And today,
little trickler here, swinging bunt. Gil Martin will underhand flip to get him down to second. Sandy Leon, so that has the effect of a sacrifice bunt.
well, hit the Boston Common for the 5th annual Out of the Park event on Sunday. This event is completely free, so go see it. Come watch the Sox take on the Orioles on the big screen out there in the park. It's presented by the Highland Street Foundation, the City of Boston, LL Bean, and the Red Sox. For more info, visit redsox.com/outofthepark. That's tomorrow.
Now Mookie with an opportunity to pick up an RBI. 1 for 3 with a single so far today. He's got Sandy Leon at second. And the top of the 7th.
If you had a little corkboard and you put a tack right where every one of David Price's pitches were today, there would just be an enormous cluster right on the outside corner about knee high, with 2 different pitches hitting the same spot time after time.
Yeah, it would be a cluster of dots, because that's what he did all day.
Yeah.
Just dotting the corner over and over and over again.
He threw 27 changeups today. Guess how many of them for strikes?
It felt like 22.
You are amazing.
22.
Kreskin?
Yeah. 22 out of 27.
Unbelievable. And you know what? The other 5 probably wasn't trying to throw those for a strike. You know, just because you're throwing a changeup up there, you're trying to get a guy to chase, or you're thinking something different. You're not trying necessarily to throw it for a strike.
Well, Red Sox are trying to add on here. Benintendi on deck. Mookie has hit safely his last 10 games against Baltimore. He's getting nothing to swing at here yet. Count 3-1.
This is where Mookie's so good. He understands situations, whether they're trying to pitch to him or not. He generally does not see a fastball down the middle on a 3-1 count, but he's so good at recognition that he rarely swings at a bad pitch in this situation. He'll take his walks. But if he does see one that he likes.
He's been the best mistake hitter in the game. Well, he's been the best hitter in the game. Period.
Incredibly balanced when he swings the bat.
And he will take ball 4. Second walk in the inning. That'll put him on at first and second.
Don't miss WB Mason Extra Innings live right after this game. Adam and Lenny will break down the key plays of the game. And you'll hear from David Price, of course, and Alex Cora. Who but WB Mason, celebrating over 20 years of same-day delivery.
Mookie Betts been the best player in baseball. And according to Fangraphs, Mookie now leads the majors in WAR, wins above replacement. Benintendi will pop that one into left, not deep. Coming on Mancini for the catch. 2 down, runners holding. There's legions of sabermetricians who firmly believe that wins above replacement, the WAR category, is the most telling metric in all of baseball today. Mookie leads in that category as well.
What is that number now?
7.7.
Wow. So it basically says he's responsible for 7.7 wins during the year. Something like that.
Essentially.
Yeah. It's a lot of wins.
Mitch Moreland a batter. So if he were lost, let's say, for the season, and the Red Sox had to bring up a player from AAA to take his place, to replace Mookie Betts, he's worth that many more wins above the replacement player.
That was the one part of that whole formula that I never really understood, is the replacing the guy with a AAA player. It's like, well, of course he's going to be better than the AAA player, but I guess you have to have a basis for your comparison.
Yeah, effectively an average player, as opposed to an elite player like a Mookie Betts or a Mike Trout.
And that 7.7 is what clearly makes you an elite player.
And it's a complicated formula that goes into it, but it's a big deal to a lot of people, and people who vote for MVP. And that's a category where he had been behind Mike Trout for most of the season. That's no longer the case. And Trout's on the DL at the moment.
Yes, he is. That same wrist problem that he's battled through all season.
First and second, 2 down for Moreland. He has gone 0 for 3. Ripped that one, but foul.
Oh, look how good he. Tommy Goodwin.
Yeah.
Yeah, down there at first base, still pretty spry.
Olay.
Oh. Yeah, you see him quickly get out of the way. He wasn't doing any Olay there. Ball attendant had a little trouble with the carom.
Leone at second, Mookie Betts at first. And a ground ball to VR. He'll flip it the short way for the force and retire the side. That will do it in the 7th. Still 4-0 Sox.
David Price clustering pitches together. Look at the Amica pitch zone there for Mancini, then Davis and VR. It's like you can throw a washcloth over where all those pitch locations were, and they're pretty much the same spot all night long, and they could do nothing with it.
And 94 pitches, biofreeze, pain relief, that works. He's going to give way to Tyler Thornburg now, so Price winds up going 6. In line for the victory. He'll be getting Davis, Nunez, Mullins. Thornburg will. So make his 14th appearance of the season. 1-0, 540 earned run average.
Thornburg still pretty much working his way into shape at the major league level after spending nearly 2 seasons out of the game. I talked to him yesterday about it. He said, look, so far I haven't had everything at the same time. If I've had a decent breaking ball, the velocity on my fastball isn't quite there. If I feel like I had a good fastball, didn't really have a good feel for the breaking ball. So I'm still, I used to know what I had when I came out there. Now it's a struggle to figure out what it's going to be that day.
Chris Davis struck out his first 2 times up, leaving him at 161. The lowest batting averages for qualifying players in Major League history are Rob Deere, 1991, batted $179. Dan Uggla with Atlanta in 2013 also hit 179. And now Davis hitting 161. It's going to be a heck of a struggle for him even to get to 179.
Have to get hot.
I mean, really hot.
He's not the kind of hitter that can get hot that way. He's the kind of hitter that can hit you maybe home runs in bunches.
Point being, he's going to set a record for futility. Yankees now on top of Texas 3-1 6th inning as the Sox lead here 4-0.
We're at the point in the season where your batting average, if you've been an everyday player, if you get a hit, your average will probably go up 2 points. If you don't get a hit, it goes down 1.
He's had just shy of 400 plate appearances. And a 2-2 from the righty. He fills up the count. Now both sides really ran hog wild offensively last night. Totally different game here today.
This is kind of a welcome change, though. Great pitching performance by Price. Just enough offense from the boys.
Thornburg with a 3-2. Foul tipped into the mid, held by Leon, and he fans for the 3rd time today.
93 miles an hour on that fastball upstairs, up above the launch angle. Watch as Davis's bat swings right underneath it. Trying to hit this ball 7 miles, but he can't get up to meet it.
One out for Nunez. He's flied out 2 times, 0 for 2. Tomorrow afternoon, 1:05, Chris Sale against Alex Cobb, and then the Red Sox will have a day off on Monday. Assuming everything goes according to plan here, meaning that game 2 runs into no weather issues, same with tomorrow. Otherwise, both teams do have an off day on Monday. 2-0 pitch and fouled away. Red Sox have Major League Baseball's highest winning percentage in day games. 27-5 in day games.
We talked about the getaway day games that they're so good at too. They did lose a getaway day game in the last day in Toronto. Their numbers, if it's a day getaway day, you can forget about it. They're going to win.
Red Sox have never won this many games in their history through 117. 82 wins. Bases empty, one down. Thornburg looking for a second consecutive K. Fly ball instead, center field. Routine play for JBJ. Two down.
Well, guess what? Fantasy football draft season is here. Get the edge on the competition by heading to NESN.com/fantasy for a full fantasy football draft kit. You know how crazy guys go for the fantasy draft and fantasy football. It's just around the corner.
NFL season just around the corner. Already into exhibition games. Mullins swinging at the first pitch. He'll loft that one into left center field. Benintendi with a play, and that will do it. Very clean inning for Thornburg. He gets him 1-2-3.
Their commitment to helping people lead tobacco-free lives and move us one step closer toward a tobacco-free generation. Learn more at cbshealth.com/be-the-first. OB.
Thanks, Garen. JD Martinez will lead off the eighth inning. New pitcher will be Miguel Castro. Red Sox saw a lot of him last night. He threw a ton of pitches, and he took the loss. He's now 2-7.
This kid must have a rubber arm.
Yeah, 46 pitches last night.
Wouldn't expect to see him right back in a ball game after that. He had a rough time, no question about that. Walked a ton of guys, gave it up, but you could see that if this kid ever harnesses his ability, he has nasty stuff. Hard sinker, nasty slider. There is the slider there.
JD today is grounded to short, grounded to third, and fly to center. Xander Bogaerts has a perfect day going. 3 hits. He's on deck. And a swing and a miss for strike 3. One away in the 8th as Martinez goes down. Time for Built for Baseball, presented by T-Mobile.
Here he goes, Xander Bogaerts with another fantastic day. He hits this ball off the wall, hustles into second base for the double. Then, when you don't think about him, he takes off for third. He's going to steal this easily. The throw gets away. Does the steeplechase jump, hurdling the third baseman and scampered on into home.
Xander with 2 singles and a double. And he has scored twice and stolen a base. Brock Holt on deck. It's Ryan Brazier going to the bullpen. Just announced the attendance at 18,003.
Well, about 10,000 of those people must be dressed like they're an empty seat.
Game 2 coming up at 7:05. Bogart's chasing one up and out of the zone. Actually foul tipped it, and down he goes. Back-to-back Ks.
Come see the Paw Sox take on the Durham Bulls Sunday, August 19th. The first 5,000 fans will arrive at McCoy Stadium. They will receive a collector's edition Paw Sox baseball card set sponsored by Nesson and Dunkin' Donuts. Go to pawsox.com to buy tickets and get more information.
Brock Holt bunted and dropped down to Beauty for a hit. His last time up, he's 1 for 3. Sox have 8 hits. The Orioles have been held to 5. We are in the 8th inning with Nunez on deck. High deep drive, but foul.
So far in this outing for Castro, you can get a glimpse of the type of talent that he has. Made JD Martinez look bad on 3 pitches. Disposed of Bogey with a slider that was up.
And the 1-1. He held up. Looks like Alex Cora will go back to that bullpen and bring Brazier in the bottom of the 8th inning. And due up for the Orioles will be Wins, VR, and Beckham. Here's the 3-1. And he walks him. That's been a big issue for the youngster. He puts on Brock Holt, who reaches for the 2nd time today. Time now for our refreshing finish, brought to you by Coors Light.
Well, Eduardo Nunez gets into the home run act here. He hadn't hit one for a little while. Got all over this one. The only question was fair or foul, and it stayed inside the foul pole, up into the seats. And there goes the arrow.
So a 2-run shot to get the offense rolling in the 5th inning. Red Sox, who have scored 3 times, they added another in the 6th inning. Brock Holt short lead, but he'll dive back in. Home run for Eduardo was his 7th of the year. Absolutely cranked it. Jackie Bradley homered in the same inning for Jackie number 10. And Castro with a 2-0 pitch to Eduardo Nunez. He drops in a strike at 93.
Nunez with the 7 home runs this season. He hit 8 home runs when he came over. And for the second half, it's 38 games for the Red Sox. He had 8 home runs. What a spark he was for this team when he got here.
Oh, he sure was. 2-1 moves him back. And to dance a little bit. 3 balls, 1 strike.
Nooney playing much better baseball over the last couple of months of the season after a slow start when his knee really wasn't still healthy. A little tough to play defense in the field. He feels so much more home playing third base than anything else.
3-1, Holt taken off, and it's popped up. That'll be back out of play. Brock Holt was a man in motion. He will retreat to first.
A great jump Brock Holt had on that pitch. Look at this jump. Gone. He had this base stolen if Nunez doesn't foul the pitch off.
He'll be running for certain now. 2 down, 3-2. And a ground ball yanked to third. Bobbled by Nunez. Gathers, throws, and he got him at first base. He recovered in time. Alex Cora kind of signaling he may want to look at it. And now just said he's not going to do that. So 4-0 Red Sox here in the middle of the 8th.
This is a
with the MLB Ballpark app. Access and manage your tickets. Enjoy check-in offers, exclusive content, and more. Download the MLB Ballpark app today.
More.
I got more.
Well, Brazier coming out of the bullpen. He tossed a perfect 7th inning on 8 pitches last night. And the Sox win. Holding opponents to a 160 batting average. His star continues to rise in that bullpen. This will be popped up on the infield by Wins, and Brock Holt is there for the play. 1 pitch, 1 out. Near the bottom of the 8th inning, Red Sox closing in on another victory. Top of the order, NVR. He's gone hitless, 0 for 3. All of that against David Price, who was just superb over 6 innings, 10 punch outs. No walks, 5 hits, no runs.
Superb. Very underutilized word. Excellent. That's exactly what he was, right? Superb.
He truly was. VR found that out. He is flied out, grounded out, and punched out. So in between games, these fans will leave and a new crowd will return for the nightcap at 7:05.
Maybe even some of the same crowd.
I would expect a good hunk of them. You and I are going to stick around.
We are indeed. Nowhere better to be.
Grab a bite. Are you going to leave the ballpark and head into the Inner Harbor for dinner?
I may do that. Wherever the wind blows me.
Because I've got to stay here and prep for Game 2, so I'll expect the full report on your dining experience.
I'll be back in time to prep for Game 2.
Oh, I know you will. I know you will. I just don't like to leave my station.
I'm afraid someone's going to take your notes.
It's a lot of notes. 2-1 on the way. Waved at and missed. 96 miles an hour to pop the mitt. Yankees still in front of Texas 3-1 there in the 7th inning.
Brazier continues to impress with his outings. Nice find.
In fact, now Texas has just taken a bases loaded walk, and they're within 1, 3-2. And Aaron Boone is coming out to maybe relieve his pitchers, so the Rangers are rallying. And it's Zach Britton pitching. He was, and now he's coming out.
Britton's had a horrible time, hasn't he?
He sure has. He's been booed there in New York.
Wow, that's just like them saying hello.
Three-two. Cut on and missed. 2 down.
Mostly hard stuff out of Brazier, but not that time. He gets the breaking ball and completely fooled by it. Kind of cheating to try to get ahead of that thing. Then he had to hesitate. He who hesitates.
Brings up Tim Beckham, who's popped up, lined out, struck out today, 0 for 3. Red Sox ahead 4-0 here in the 8th inning. They have out hit the Orioles 8-5. This will be popped up, a twisting foul off into the stands.
You know, I think we're all pretty sure that Zach Britton's probably going to put it together and pitch better for the Yankees. But Eck hit it right on the head when they were talking about making that deal. There's no question the Red Sox were involved in that. They were interested in him. And Eck said, I don't think he's all the way back because I don't like his command right now. He's not throwing the ball as hard or as consistently as he used to. And so it might take him some time if he gets traded. And it has.
And of course, for the bulk of his career here in Baltimore, he was outstanding. Been a struggle since the deal. Here comes the 0-1. Sox come to the 9th inning. We'll have due up Leon, Bradley, and Betts. Frazier trying to make it a 1-2-3-8. Right past him in 96.
This guy's the most consistent fastball you're ever going to see. Every one of them are 96.
11 of his 13 outings for the Red Sox have been scoreless. And a 1-2. He thought about it. Stayed away though. A check swing. There's not been an inning in the ball game where the Orioles have had more than one base runner. That's how good Boston pitching has been. 2-2. High fly left field. Benintendi back to the track. He's there though to make the play. Retiring the side. 1-2-3 they go. 4-0 at the end of 8. Bigger than ever this summer. Southwest Airlines, low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. And by Sullivan Tire and Complete Auto Service. Been a hot, sunny day and a good one for the Red Sox again. They lead 4-0 over the Orioles going to the 9th inning. And Castro will stay out there to face Leon Bradley and Betts to start. Red Sox winning last night 19-12. Very different ball game here today. Pitching has certainly dominated for the Red Sox, leading 4-0. Although the Sox flashed some power, trademark power in the 5th inning. Home runs by Eduardo Nunez and Jackie Bradley. Sandy has popped up, grounded out, taken a walk today. Matt Barnes now loosening in the bullpen for the Sox. And the 0-2 from Castro. He will strike him out. One man gone. Time for our game summary brought to you by Xfinity. David Price. Man, was he on. 10 strikeouts, no walks. Xander Bogaerts really heating up too. 3 for 4 with a double. Jackie Bradley with a home run. As mentioned, Eduardo Nunez on a 3-0 pitch, 2-run bullet down the left field line in the 5th inning. Jackie with that home run was his 10th. He's 1 for 3. In game 2, the scheduled starter announced by Alex Cora before the game, Hector Velasquez against Jeffrey Ramirez, who the Red Sox have seen a couple of times this season. He's 1-4, a 5.66 ERA.
Thankfully for the Red Sox and Alex Cora, everything sort of went to plan in this ball game so far. Didn't have to use Hector, so he can slide into that starting role.
Did he go? He did not.
There's Matt Barnes getting it ready.
And Castro with the 2-1. Nobody on, 1 down for Jackie. The 2-2 on the way. High fly ball left center, that's deep. Mullins chasing, track, wall. It is gone. He's home again. For the 2nd time here this afternoon, Jackie Bradley touches them all to make it 5-0 Boston. He tends to hit those high, majestic blasts that are up there all day.
And when they eventually come down there on the other side of the wall, don't look now, but Jackie Bradley Jr. heating back up again. That's a good pitch to hit. He doesn't try to pull it, doesn't roll over it. He kind of inside outs that ball straight up the middle and out of the ballpark. When the back half of this batting order is hot, look out.
So 3rd time in his career he goes yard twice in a game. And 11 now for JBJ. Red Sox with 3 home runs this afternoon. Mookie 1 for 3, a single and a walk so far. Jackie hitting that one to the deepest part of the ballpark. And a 2-1.
Look out.
All the way to the backstop. I mentioned how wild Castro can be.
This one hard and in off the plate. His ball tails and sinks so much. That thing just keeps coming towards you. It's hard to get out of the way of it.
There's a lot of talent here for the 6'7" right-hander. Figuring out exactly where it's going when it leaves his hand has been an issue. Three and two now, and Mookie Betts one away. 5-0 Boston in game one. Sox inching closer to their 83rd win. Mile high fly ball to left field. Mancini there though for the catch. 2 gone. Sox with 82 wins at the moment. Houston the next winningest team. They have 73. And now comes Benintendi. 1 for 4, a base hit in the 5th inning. 302 with 15 home runs. Certainly a 100 RBI season is within his grasp. And now 10-game hitting streak.
Benny's been trying to go left field all day long. In fact, he's popped up to the left fielder 3 times.
A run in on Jackie Bradley's 2nd home run of the afternoon. And a 1-0 pitch. Yeah, tomorrow's a Sale day. Chris Sale will be going after his 12th win. He's coming off the DL. Had some inflammation in the shoulder. Appears to be all cleared up. He is chomping at the bit to get back on the hill. That is not good news for the Baltimore Orioles. Moreland would be next, but there are 2 out. Here in the top of the 9th inning with a run home and a 1-2. Line drive and caught. Beckham reaching out to get that. That retires the side. Red Sox add another run and now lead at 5-0 going to the bottom of the 9th. Barnes will do the honors here. That's the game plan. So he becomes the 3rd Red Sox reliever. David Price went the first 6. He's in line to pick up his 12th win. Red Sox pitching has really been exceptional. Tough part of the order coming up here. Jones, Trumbo, Mancini.
Yes, it is. That's the guys you have to worry about in this lineup, if there are any.
A win here in game 1, the Red Sox would improve to 8-1 in the month of August. Red Sox went 19-6 in July.
This has been that type of season, OB, where the numbers just look pretty flattering no matter what you're looking at. Any month, any few weeks, any player.
It's incredible. I've never seen anything like it. Red Sox had that early stretch where they went 17-2. That's when you started to realize what a special year it was probably going to be. On a pace of being an all-timer in the history of the Boston Red Sox. Again, the 82 wins, their most ever through 117 games. The Sox are 26-6 in the last 32.
Red Sox are the only team that has scored 600 runs. No other team came close. And the Red Sox now have 648 runs.
Jones tried to hold up, but he went 0-2. He's had a good day with a single and a double. 2 for 3. Hardly any of his teammates have joined in, though. They have just 5 hits.
Big milestone double today.
Yeah, number 300 for Jones. He's had a good career here.
Yes, he is. Well, and one of the reasons why he didn't want to leave here. He had a chance to get traded to the Philadelphia Phillies, jump into potential race.
He's a fine player. He's been a Gold Glove outfielder. He's moved now from center over to right field, but in his prime, an elite defender in center field. Still a good outfielder. Wave and a miss. Down he goes. Leon will scoop it up, has to fire on, and completes the K. 1 away.
How about David Price today and his pitch selection and his pitch domination? Nasty changeup. Great cutter. And a four-seamer every once in a while to do damage. And it just keeps on going. It's a nightmare for the Orioles today. Changeup. And then 96 from Barnes. Back to live action.
David Price threw 94 pitches, 68 strikes. You got this man Trumbo all 3 times, 2 Ks and a pop up to second. Punch foul.
27 changeups he threw, 22 of them were for strikes.
Certainly hope you'll be joining us for game number 2. And if you watched every minute and plan to watch every minute of game 1 and game 2, I would like it if you would send me a note to Fenway Park, and I'm going to send you something, a prize of some sort. I'm going to come up with something because you've earned it. I'm not going to say it's terribly expensive, whatever it is, but you've earned a prize. Another one to come. The 1-2, a wave and a miss. He really chased it. Down he goes. Back-to-back Ks for Barnes. Trumbo fans for the 3rd consecutive time.
Barnes, nasty breaking stuff. It's become a very tough customer out there on the mound when he combines that breaking ball with his fastball in the upper 90s.
Here's Trey Mancini, 1 for 3 with a base hit. Barnes looking to make him the last man in game 1. Game 2, Hector Velasquez against Jeffrey Ramirez. At 7:05. Right back here at Camden Yards. The count 0-2. Red Sox fans are up They've had another great day. Here comes the 0-2. Red Sox are one strike away from another win. Looks like a home game, doesn't it?
Yeah, every time they're down here.
Liner but foul. Bases empty here in the 9th inning, and 2 down. And Barnes with a fly ball, pretty well hit on the move. Bradley, Jackie there on the track. He's got it. That wins the ball game. Jackie Bradley had a big one with a pair of home runs, and the Red Sox take game 1 of the Twin Bill. They do it by shutting out Baltimore behind David Price in a fine effort by the bullpen. 5-0 the final score. Adam, game 1. That's the way to start a doubleheader.
We look forward to having you back again soon.